Okay, here's what we got going on. Just pulled my wife's Bronco into the shop. So she picked up a 2023 Black Diamond Bronco, and just, wants to do some overlanding and kind of wheeling, and just wants a few things put on it to make sure that, we don't have any problems on the trails. If you know anything about these Broncos, they have a pretty dadgum weak tie rod. So first thing that we're going to put on it is this BroncBuster rack and pinion bushing, and then we've got these BroncBuster tie rod. It's like a stiffener just to kind of help out that weak tie rod, trying to keep it from breaking. And then, I don't know, maybe after 100,000 miles you replace the thing altogether. But anyways, so there's that. The other thing she picked up, got a rough country winch. We're going to throw that on after we put on this clamber bumper. So stock bumpers coming off and new bumpers going on, winch and tie rod protectors, and rack and pinion stiffener. Some 19 millimeters to take off the lug nuts. This here you got to take off. This is your tie rod end. This is a 13/16 for me. I mean, that's what fit the best for me. Kind of surprising. I would have thought everything on this would be totally metric, but I'm gonna go with that. So we need to take this this nut off the tie rod end, and then if you watch their video, BroncBuster, they use a brass hammer to kind of tap that thing out. Next thing, I turn the wheel all the way to the driver's side so that just a little more room here. Plus, when you install or when you try to take the tie rod off, it's a lot easier if you turn it all the way to the driver's side. So that's what I did. So I was able to get that out with just the hammer. It looks like there's some anti-seize in there from the factory, and this thing is pretty new, so I guess I'm not too surprised that it came out that easy. You got to break this clamp that's on the back of that boot. So that is one thing you got to kind of do. And they send you a new one of those, so no big deal. Okay, pretty cheap hose clamp there. Okay, so back in here is where you actually have to turn that piece off, this part right here. So you gotta get a wrench on this right here. That's what we're going for. You can kind of see how this is a weak design. You got quite a bit of leverage hanging out here out of the side of your rack and pinion. So, okay, now you can see there's this little black. Basically, it's just like a pilot assembly pilot bushing type deal back in here. You gotta get that out to put this new bushing in. So, I mean, really all this does is just give you like another, however thick the bushing is, 1.5 inches or whatever of support. But as you can see, I mean, you need all you can get with that thing hanging out there the way that it does. Okay, so this is the piece that you got to get out. It's just kind of cheap and flimsy, I guess. So, get that out of there. And now, you get this bushing, and there's a little lobe. So pretty easy to get that put in. Once you get in there, it's kind of tough to tell from their videos, but you can see that lobe's to the top left of what you can see there. So should be pretty easy to get that put in. Let's see. This is your pilot or your install bearing bushing tool, and then you got a snap ring. I need to go get some grease to put on this, and then this hose clamp goes on that boot, and then we'll get on to these. So let's see what we can do. Okay, so definitely forgot to tighten that tie rod in at first. We got that tightened for that tie rod. So now I need to tighten the tie rod in. Then we're gonna do this BroncBuster brace. So from what I can read, 46 foot-pounds on that tie rod end. Okay, so up next is the BroncBuster brace. And in my mind, I think I need some anti-seize on the inside of this. I don't know, we got aluminum there. I don't know what we got here. Some sort of cast aluminum, maybe. Not sure. Is this magnetic? Okay, that's magnetic, so not aluminum. Okay, so I don't know. I just feel like some anti-seize would be a good idea, and plus nothing makes you seem smarter than using anti-seize, so we'll give it a little bit. Okay, there it is installed. I just kind of worked my way back and forth, up and down the line, you know. Started here, then I went over here, kind of like if you're tightening an intake manifold or whatever, and then just kind of went back and forth to try and get it to to seat well, and you gotta be careful. Obviously you're just going into aluminum here, so I don't know. I just use this little Allen wrench, and that kind of helps keep me from just going crazy and snapping. I think if you had like my ratchet that I was using earlier here, I think if you had this guy, you probably would strip that bolt pretty easily. So just be careful, and we're gonna go over to the other. Okay, that is both sides installed. And I started tonight at probably like 7:30, and I got both those installed and the bushing installed, and it's like 9 o'clock. So that's how easy it can be. But anyways, hopefully this will save us at some point out on the trail, and we won't have to carry an extra with us. Although it may not be a terrible idea to do so anyways. Maybe order a couple extra aftermarket tie rod ends. But so next thing that we're going to do is get this front bumper off.